Hello YouTube. Now, this is another Star vs. Evil vlog, but in this one I'm going to do something that I sort of did a while back with a Star vs. Evil vlog, that I'm going to talk about two of the episodes, well, technically three, I guess. The very first one I'm going to talk about is the one that premiered last week that I wasn't, that I just didn't really care to record really, to talk about, because it wasn't that great, but, still gonna talk about it. And also I was really busy, because my school just started, curses, and so yeah, that might be a little bit hard for me to get videos out, but I will still get them out, I promise you guys that. So, basically this one's about St. Olga's, reform school for wayward princesses, and Star gets a call from, Ponyhead, yeah, that was it. So she gets a call from her, and she's basically saying, oh yeah, it's my birthday, and I'm stuck here. Bummer. So Star feels very bad for that. She wants to go get her out for a little bit, and help her sort of enjoy her birthday. But but of course, it's harder than it looks. So they try teleporting in just to get her out, because that'd be the easiest way. But, of course, it doesn't work great. Because the whole entire school has, dimension teleporting off limits. All magic has been shut down because you're just asked to give them the scissors. Yeah, the scissors for teleportation. Nothing really big happens. There's no big search to try and get the dimension scissors out. No, you're just asked. Do you have the scissors? Yeah. Well, can you give them to us? Okay. That's all that happens. Nothing really big. It's just, do you have the scissors? Yeah. Here we go. They also do have a magic wand. Luckily, Star and Marco are not idiots and do not give them that stuff. Why do the other princesses do that? I have no idea. But, so they're in there, they're trying to get out Ponyhead, but, oh yeah, and also Marco was, disguised to be a girl princess in there, because he couldn't have just been one of those cool robot guys, which, oh yes, the robot guys are back. Had to talk about them. My favorite one in them, he has this really cool voice. He only made like a few quick appearances in the very first one that they showed up in episode 2, and even there, he didn't really say that much, but his voice was just so cool. He even made the word glitter sound awesome, but I think that they changed his voice actor, because he sounds so much different. I mean, really, what happened? I'm sorry, I know this isn't a big deal, but yeah, I know what happened. He had such a cool voice. What happened? Did the guy's contract run out? What? I don't know, but something happened and they need to do something about it, because that voice was awesome. Speaking of awesome voices, St. Olga's voice is actually really, really cool. It's kind of raspy, but it also has this, like, mature British sophistication to it. So yeah, her voice is really cool. I want to see more of her I want to see some more of her just to hear her voice again, because it was a really cool voice. So I have to look up who voiced her actually now, because she has a very cool voice. And basically they break in there, they break into the school. Okay, so after getting sidetracked, they break back in, they're in the school, they try to get Ponyhead, and then they realize that she's been reformed. So, seeing how this is a big dilemma now, they they try and help her out, but she won't snap out of it, so they say, let's just run out. So they just run out, but unfortunately Marco was stuck behind. Star eventually snaps Pony Head out of it, and they go back to rescue Marco along with all the other princesses. Saint Olga, getting a little bit unreformed and undignified, goes back into her brainwashing session, and then just becomes very much reformed like how she normally is. And then we get the biggest twist ever. She collects stuff. Yeah, she just collects stuff from different places. Like, in different dimensions, apparently she needs different objects from it to turn to a liquid form to do something. Yeah, we don't really know what she's going to do, or even why it has to be solid objects, or why she couldn't just go there and get them, seeing as she's saying, like, finally, I got this. It's just like, what, you could have just traveled there yourself? Well, apparently not. But, so, yeah, some pretty good foreshadowing there. That was kind of cool. It definitely got me, like, wait, what's going on? Why isn't this ending? But it's not like Gravity Falls mystery or anything, so it's not that suspenseful, and you really just sort of forget about it for a bit after you've seen it. And then there's also something that I really want to bring up with this episode that sort of brought my attention to it. Why are we cool with gore, with gory things, if it's in a kid show? This is something that's bothering me for a while. The Nostalgia Critic brought it up, and it sort of reminded me of this. But it mainly just, like, this question popped in my head while I was watching Tomorrowland, where they, like, decapitate these robots. They slice them into tiny little pieces. They cut them in half. And yet, what? It still got a PG rating? Are you kidding me? If there was blood in that, then that would have been R. That would have been an R-rated movie. What the heck? But why do they get away with it? Why do they get away with this? Because either they changed the color of blood, which something the Nostalgia Critic brought up, or they're robots. And they do that here too. They actually do decapitate a guy, and at first I was just like, whoa, oh my god, did they really do that? That's because I forgot that, Marco said that they were robots earlier. But then when I saw that happen, I was just like, Jesus, what? There gonna be any blood there, or no? Oh, they're robots. Screw you, show! Screw you! But, yeah, so yeah, that's something that's annoying me for a long time. Like, why can people get away with it if it's just robots? Why? Why is that a thing? Is that something that I never knew about? Okay, well, anyways, now we go on to the next episode, New Dependence Day. I think I said that right. Okay, so it's Independence Day in Star's Dimension, but of course she's not there to celebrate it, so she decides, I'll get all my friends together. Oh yeah, an interesting footnote, that guy with the blue striped shirt is back. I guess that in an episode that we didn't see, they went back to that fairy princess area and got him back. Continuity! But really, they are during this whole entire thing, they got the troll teacher back, who is only there for meat, apparently. But basically what they do for their Independence Day is they recreate their battle that got them independence against a horde of monsters. They recreate the whole entire battle. So, half of our friends are split into monsters, and the other half are humans. Or at least, Unions. But it's kind of clear that she's being a bit unfair with with her whole entire recreation. Because, for one, she's giving the whole entire Union side real weapons. That's safe. You couldn't even get Nerf out. I guess not. She's also giving them really big armor. This armor is huge. Who even makes armor that big? And then she even enlarges it a bit and gives him a war horse. Like, what the heck? And what did she do for the monsters? Dulls their weapons even more. She dulls them. And also in the antagonist layer, I still cannot remember her name or his name, whatever. Basically there, they have this all-seeing eye to view them to see what they're doing, and instead of actually making an attack, now having seen their whole entire area and what they're doing, what do? They do the ingenious move of watching it like it's a movie. Great job there. So basically, the antagonist villain, sidekick, basically like her henchman, is actually the only one to take action when, the James Bond-like character, why can I not remember any of these villains' names? When the James Bond-like monster gives him a device that allows him to create a teleportation unit. So basically, he goes over there in the monster world trying to get Star's wand, while also acting like one of the monsters because they're apparently too stupid to realize these are real freaking monsters. Really, did she just think their costume was that good? And when he tries to steal it, Star of course notices, and they find out, oh, that's not Ferguson! He's a real monster! Wow, we were fooled into that, really. We suck. So basically, Star's about ready to blast him, and then she gets a change of heart, lets him go, so then the main antagonist can just kick him out. Because one failed attempt means that you must be sentenced away from the only place you've known to be home. You've never heard of that? I've always heard that saying. So one really interesting thing about this episode is how they actually treat how Star's feeling about this. Like Mark was saying, don't you think you're being a bit unfair here? And then she actually takes this under deep consideration. Like, she keeps on thinking, like, maybe we have been being a little bit too unfair to monsters in my dimension. Maybe we should have at least give them a bit of a chance to redeem themselves. I mean, this did happen a long time ago. Maybe we should. And that's really what makes this episode kind of interesting, is how they work with that. They do really sort of work with it, but it's not really the main focus, unfortunately. And if it was the main focus, then it would have been a really good episode. Like, this one could have been really good, like the Monster Arm episode. But instead, it just ends up being mediocre, unfortunately, because they had a good setup. They could have made this really interesting. Like, a nice dive into how she feels about monsters now. Sort of explaining more why she hated Monster Claw so much. Maybe we could have even found out why. I mean, it's never explained in the episode, but nope. All we gotta do is know that she hates monsters. That helps. So yeah, not really much happens in this episode, but we do get a little bit more foreshadowing with the James Bond monster. Yeah, I'm still calling him that. So yeah, we sort of see that he's trying to make a plan against either the main antagonist, Star, or both. By sort of dispatching the main antagonist's army, sort of weakening him or her down more and more, and then becoming more reliant on him. So, yeah, kind of neat how they're doing that. I don't really know how far they'll go with it, though, so, yeah. And now on to the last episode, the magic wand. The magic wand. Okay, so I just looked it up on the episode. It's actually called the Magic Incident, in which this episode is all about the epicness of Star being bored. Now she's just bored. Oh, how intriguing. And she's so bored that she sits in a bathtub reading magazines. Okay. I don't even want to know where she got the bathtub, actually. Or where she got all the freaking magazines, because the bathtub is, like, piled up with them. Or how she's not uncomfortable in that, because, I mean, there are tons of magazines. I don't know. She's apparently completely comfortable in that. Somehow got the bathtub and magazines. So, she's so bored that she's just reading through them instead of doing something that could be a little bit more interesting, like watching a movie, I guess. I don't know. But apparently no one's watching a movie here in this house that day because Marco's getting prepared for his karate class by not going to his karate class, and Star is still reading her magazines, and their parents are nowhere to be found yet again. Really, where are their parents? I mean, where's Marco's parents? Really, where are they? They just don't go away for a bit whenever they aren't needed. You could at least have them, like, walking through the hall at one point. Or, like, walking through a room or something to show that they're still in the house doing something. But I guess that would cost a little bit more money with the animation, but still. I'm pretty sure that you can use some repeat footage. And I'm sure that you had the parents walking around before. But I digress. Basically, Star found this ad in her magazine that says, get the magic wand. It's the only device you'll ever need for bananas. So basically she misinterprets it as like a real magic wand. She's like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing thing. How do they have this available? So she makes a quest that she does for herself. She makes a quest for herself to go find this magic wand before the day is over. Wow, she was bored. And apparently she had an oath to never be bored. She makes a lot of oaths for herself. I have an oath never. She has an oath never to be bored. She has an oath to never to find this magic wand thing. Really, what is in her oath? Does she have an oath to go to bed every night? An oath to sit down? Does she have to make an oath for everything? I'm just curious about that now. But basically, she goes after the magic wand while Marco is at karate class. And frankly, I would prefer seeing more Marco at his karate class. Because the last time we saw Marco at his karate class, there was a freaking monster arm involved. And I at least want to see some foreshadowing for the monster arm again, because that was really, really cool. The monster arm subplot was very cool, and I liked it, and yet now they don't even reference it. And Jeremy doesn't even say anything while Marco's fighting him. He's not like, hey, the last time this happened, you had a monster arm. No, he's just like, you can't beat me, I guess. But basically, in Marco's karate class, he is learning to work with pitching motions to help him with karate. Okay, and apparently the karate teacher actually got a real freaking, like, fire walkway thing for them to walk on. Why did he get that? Yeah, I mean, really, how do you even go around getting one of those? Where did he get one of those? These are a lot of questions that need to be answered. Like, how did he get this? Where did he get this? And why did he get this? It's a freaking karate class at a mall. It's not that big a deal. But anyway, Marco is the only one to bring up an emotion, so he's the only one to bring up an emotion, just any random emotion, so he's the one who has to walk across the fiery coals. Yeah, kind of a harsh, karate teacher there, or psychotic one, but, so Jeremy keeps on annoying him, so he eventually gets into the emotion of anger instead of hunger, which is what he said, and eventually does step onto the fire coals, and then of course his feet are on fire. How is this teacher not fired? How did this teacher even get a job there? Okay, and then Star eventually does find her magic wand after getting into a ton of circumstances to get it, and she uses it. You engaged yet? So there's not really that much that happens in this one either. It's just sort of a standard thing. It could have been cool, but it didn't really do anything to forward anything, and I don't know. I just sort of wish that there was a little bit more that could have been done here. But frankly, I don't really know how I would have made it better in any way, so I guess they did with what they could, but it just seemed like there could have been something there. I still would have liked it to have some references to the Monster Arm episode because they're back in the gym where it all happened. That would have been so cool to get some sort of reference to that, or at least some acknowledgement that the Monster Arm is still coming back. Because I still want to see that freaking Monster Arm. I don't care. I don't care how they do it. They gotta get that Monster Arm back. It was the best episode thus far. So nothing to really say this episode, except for maybe Jeremy being annoying, which it was nice to see that Marco still has a hatred for Jeremy. Yeah, I'm really happy to see that. So yeah, not that much more that I can say about this one. So yeah, bye.